what I want to discuss briefly with you is the sequence, what I'm going to call the sequence, practice, and drill outside zone. I'm going to take you through the drills to work in order, get the most amount of reps, to get the most efficient body movements, muscle memory, and how it all comes together. First thing I think you can do, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen this, is you can do a footwork or a match drill where you have the offensive player here, the defensive player here lined up on mats. You practice covered footwork, the lineman stepping, I think getting a little bit of depth and getting his head on the outside half, depending on how you want to teach it, but stretching a covered defender, and then you can move him over here, and he can be uncovered, and then work to the mat. So you can have all the guys going at once, spaced out, left side over here, right side over here, and practice covered, and then practice uncovered as they go down the mat, hitting the defensive player, or certainly at least getting their body in position to be able to make a block. Now, one caveat to this, when you practice the center, in the way I think the most effective way to run outside zone is, he can do some of the mat work. Also, though, because you're going to pull him on kind of a mini pull technique so often, I think it's a good idea to put some cones behind him going left and right and have him run basically a bubble where he gets some depth and runs immediately, a couple yards of depth and just runs. It could be 3, 4, 5 yards of width as well. Have him practice going to the right, have him practice going to the left. As many times as he can do this, better. So as everybody else works the mats, working covered, working uncovered, getting their depth and getting over there to make sure that their body is in position to make blocks, that the center can run that bubble, that little mini pull technique, and as fast and as quick as he can get out of there, the better, as he works on that. The second thing I think you can do is you can put them in groups. You can space them all out, tackle and guard, working a 5 technique to a linebacker. Obviously, if you have a tight end down there, a tight end and tackle, working a 6 or 9 or whatever to a linebacker, and have all the situations worked through. So he's covered, he's uncovered, he's getting some depth and width, he's going to climb if he doesn't pinch. If he pinches, he'll flatten it for him and take a good angle to linebacker. He'll get 1, 2, 3 and get over there. And then very important too to work situations that are difficult, which is blocking a 4 or a 4-eye. You have a 4-eye in here and a linebacker here, and the covered man really ripping and dipping heavy to that outside half, coming off at a good angle for linebacker. He's going to get some depth and really get over there as quick as he can to reach it. And again, you can vary up how you want to block the scheme, but whether it's a tight end working a 6 to a linebacker and him doing a similar kind of deal, and the tackle getting some depth to pull and overtake, work all the situations that you'll see. An outside shade, an inside shade, head up, the defensive end slanting in, the linebacker coming over, the linebacker walking up. So all the 5 or 6 situations these guys are going to see very efficiently after you move to the boards to practice that. And everybody can spread out. A lot of people can go at once, and you can be very efficient. The next thing I think you can do is go essentially a half line drill and work on the backside. Now you're working the backside techniques where you'll have a 2-eye and a linebacker and the guard and the tackle communicating this out. He's going to run the scoop. He's taking the good angle toward this linebacker to take this one. This guy can be standing in here or not. But you can work all the different variations of backside, outside zone that will occur. So you can work a 3 technique and a linebacker. However, if you wanted him to give a little hand to it and take a good angle, him get some depth and really run that cutoff, you can work, if a tight end's in there, a backside 5 technique and a backside 2-eye and a linebacker and a 3-tech, and however you wanted to work this look. It really doesn't matter as long as you feel like you're working all the variations. So you have the boards that you work on, the footwork, covered and uncovered. You go immediately to the combo drills where you're working the different scenarios 2 guys will see, and then you bring it to the backside where there's 3 guys potentially, and you can put a center in there too if you want to, or a tight end if he's with you, where you're working all the backside situations that will occur. You can also, on the boards, you can turn the board sideways. You can put the offensive player here above the board, put a defensive player here, have the defensive player shuffle down the board, have the offensive player, so we're practicing the backside scoop, have him get some depth and run behind the board and run the length of the board to get all the way to the inside of the defensive player to really practice that scoop, getting that depth and run as he has to get his body in position to make the block. And so you can do that during that period, or you can do it with the boards in general to start. And then finally, I would do the same similar look where you go half line, and then you bring it all together for play side. So now the tackling tight end can work a 6 or 9 technique to a linebacker. The guard and center can work the 3 technique, however you want to block it. Is your preference. But I think any variation, this guy walking up, then walking back, where the players can see it real quick and then have to execute at full speeds, or at least as close to full speed as they can, getting their body where it needs to get. And it can go over all the variations. If it's bare front, or you can slide it from one front to the next. You can walk guys down. You can move them. You can really get good reps, and it's the same style that it was in the combo drill. It's just more guys going. So just in review, I think if you're working a sequence to practicing outside zone, the first thing you'd like to do is steps, and you don't have to do this every day, but it's certainly at the intro is going to be mats, covered and uncovered, and then your combos. So 2-man combos, and you're going through all the situations, and then backside, half line, where they're working the scoops full speed. They're working the technique of running and cutting off a linebacker at the second level, and then finally you're going to bring it all together and do front side half line. And this is going to take half hour, 35 minutes. But in this time, you're going to have a lot of reps. They're going to build upon each other. And if you do this compounded throughout the off season, throughout camp, and throughout every day at practice during the week, at least some of these incorporated every day, and it's going to compound exponentially the speed and the ability to execute for everybody, for the linemen. It's just going to get better and better. And I hope this is of value to you, and thanks for watching.